In this edition of UTA Spotlight, the UTA Recreation Department opens a unique golf course for the community on the campus of UTA.
UTA students stepped into cowboy culture with a high-energy night of two-stepping and line dancing.
And a UTA student and her leadership group spent spring break volunteering in the community. Welcome to UTA Spotlight. I'm Bree Alvarado.
And I'm Olivia Ross. Thank you for joining us.
A new recreational space has opened at UTA, giving students and community members a chance to try a unique sport. UTA Campus Recreation held a ribbon-cutting ceremony for its new disc golf course. Located at Doug Russell Park, the course features 9 holes spread across the park, with UTA markers at each basket of the course gives students another way to use a park that many forget is part of UTA's campus. With a clear goal in mind, Campus Recreation hopes the course will encourage students to spend more time outdoors and take advantage of additional recreational opportunities. Director of Campus Recreation, Dax Kirkdale, says the idea came from a desire to better activate the space and make it more useful for students.
This facility is located in Doug Russell Park, which is a really great resource to have on campus, but it's often off to the side and a bit of an afterthought sometimes. And so this is an idea that we had to activate the space to encourage people to come over here, to give them a reason to come over here and utilize the park.
The course is open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., so be sure to stop by and keep an eye out for other recreational spaces around campus.
UTA Excel hosted a lively night of two-step lessons, dance line routines, and music that kept UTA students moving. Students filled the Palo Duro Lounge for a night focused on learning the two-step. Instructors taught basic steps and different turns and partner variations to keep dancers moving. Students also learned several kinds of line dances. Participants got free cowboy hats to help create a fun Western environment. They also provided fans so dancers could stay cool while they practiced. Students enjoyed the rhythm of the music while engaging with other students. Many students used the event as a chance to meet new people. The night gave everyone a chance to experience a new hobby.
I guess like the community, we're all trying to figure it out together, which I thought was really fun. I just think it's a really fun social event, and I also just like dancing myself, so I could never turn down like an invitation to dance, you know?
I love community events like this where UTA students come together to relax, learn something new, and build community. Follow UTA Excel on Instagram at UTA Excel for community campus events.
Spring break was last week, and our Maverick on the street, Garrett Crowder, went out and asked what UTA students did during their spring break.
From resting and playing to traveling and weddings, these are some of the things fellow Mavericks did during the spring break. This is Mavs on the Street.
Our ska band played at Emo Night. It was pretty cool. Around Dallas, we opened up for a couple of, I guess like a couple of people that are around the hundreds or something. It was just come and go.
I mostly started drawing and playing games, just random stuff like that.
I went to the carnival this spring break. It was pretty fun, honestly.
I'm mostly caught up on sleep because I badly needed it after exams.
Fun-wise, yeah, I would say worked on a film. We got to go to the carnival together, check that out for a little bit. We also got to go out to these nice little lounge, nightclubs. It was pretty eventful.
Played a couple games of ice hockey, and then we also went on a field trip to Paint Rock, Texas to document some rock art sites, actually.
I went to a wedding in Florida.
Ooh, what was that like?
It was great. We drove 15 hours. It was a long drive, but overall, it was great.
And did you like the wedding, or?
Yes, it was my first American wedding.
I went rock climbing with a couple friends at Movement Grapevine. That was really fun.
On my spring break, I went to visit my grandparents who were in Pennsylvania, and then I traveled to New York and New Jersey.
I remember we spent a lot of time on the ping pong, but that was because none of us knew how to play it. So it was us trying to figure it out and us, whiffing bad.
It's mostly just small towns I found around Google Maps, and I just decided to go there.
Did you find anything interesting in these towns, or?
Glen Rose, specifically Glen Rose. It's like this It's like this town that specializes in dinosaurs. They got this wildlife center. I actually get to feed some giraffes and all that. So
resting is a big thing. I took it as an advantage because I haven't had time to really sit down, settle down, and rest. So when I was able to do absolutely nothing, I took that advantage.
Students don't get a lot of time off, so it's always nice to see when fellow Mavericks have a chance to relax. And now we turn to Michelle with Terry's Talk.
Thank you, Bree. Welcome back to Terry's Talk. This week, we're highlighting UTA's alternative breaks. They're a student leadership organization on campus that offers opportunities to grow and serve communities. Over spring break, UTA students went to Nashville, Tennessee to volunteer. And Terry Talk reporter Courtney Bell talked to one student who participated.
Hello there. I'm here at UT Arlington's Follett Student Leadership Center, where students can cultivate their leadership skills through multiple programs, one of them being Alternative Breaks. Alternative Breaks is an on-campus organization that seeks to foster students' personal growth. Recently, the group traveled to Nashville, Tennessee for their annual spring break volunteering trip. Brea Passmore, a Terry Scholar and a student director for Alternative Breaks, shares her thoughts on the experience.
Overall, the experience is amazing. We're all doing those late nights and those early mornings together, so it brings that sense of community with each other.
Each trip centers around a social issue. This year's focus was civic engagement, which Brea believes is very important.
Being able to understand the meaning behind civic engagement and all that goes into that it's just important because it's not going to help only you, but also generations after you.
Brea believes her path to becoming an Alternative Breaks member started with becoming a Terry Scholar.
Honestly, I'm not going to lie, the Terry Foundation is the reason why I am with Alternative Breaks. I had a pre-interview with a previous Terry Scholar that worked at my school, and she told me just to do a little research about just the campus and things that you can get involved in. So I did research the night before my interview, and I looked up Alternative Breaks, and I was like, wow, that seems really nice, and I kind of really want to do that.
Brea shares her final thoughts on Alternative Breaks.
I think Alternative Breaks is just a it's one of those hidden kind of organizations, but once you find it, it's amazing, and it's just totally life-changing.
If you're interested in getting involved with Alternative Breaks, be sure to join their Mav Engage page. I'm Courtney Bell, UTA Spotlight.
Plans for the next Alternative Break trips for 2027 are already underway. And if you're interested, follow them socially at UTA Alt Breaks or contact Christine Cross at christine.cross@uta.edu.
After the break, a look at an historic building in Arlington turning 100 years old.
And we bring you a new segment of Healing Reflections on the identity and image of a woman.
As one UTA Maverick sport ends, another gets started, and we recap recent UTA athletic games next on UTA Spotlight. An historic building once owned by UTA is turning 100 years old. The historic site is still used to this day.
The building, now known as the Cornerstone, was first owned by the Swan family from Jackson, Missouri, and later served as a men's dormitory for what is now UTA. The property was sold to Pantego Bible Church in the 1950s and is now owned by Grace Community Church. The church hosts a student ministry outreach hub there, offering free coffee, tea, and some Jesus for students looking for a little pick-me-up. One student in particular was very excited when he discovered the building was 100 years old.
I looked at the tax records. It said it was built in 1926, and I found that out last year. So for the whole year, I've been super excited for the Cornerstone Centennial, spreading the news to the people here. Like, guys, do you know that in 1 year this building turns 100?
On Fridays, they offer a free lunch to any student, and on Thursdays, they host worship nights. This spring break, they plan to serve around Arlington, supporting widows and those experiencing homelessness.
They knew the Bible really well. One girl knew Arabic, and I was studying Arabic. One guy knew Russian, just in this little small group. And I've always loved to study languages, and I was like, dang, these people know the Bible.
Throughout the day, students from many different backgrounds stop by, some to meet friends, others to attend events. With free coffee, open events, and service projects, the Cornerstone has created a welcoming space that brings students together.
They always say they want to see me come back, and that makes me want to come back.
Nathan Reynolds, Arlington Sentinel News.
There is a deep history here in Arlington, and the history in this building is a piece that adds to the larger picture.
Michaela Nobles hosts Healing Reflections, which focus on personal growth and emotional well-being for students. Here's a taste of the latest episode exploring the identity of a woman of strength.
Yes. And I feel like we get told we're selfish. We get, oh, you don't care about nobody. All the stigmas that comes in when you say the word no. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna commit. I need a break. Now it's just, oh, you didn't want to do it, no way. So how, and this was transitioning to like, you know, well, mama did it. Grandma did it, Amy did it. So it's the generational patterns of this is what a strong woman looks like to me. So now you're portraying what your grandmama, Amy mama did, but you burnt out just as much as they were burnt out. So the results don't change. But how do you feel women should move around that? Or have you seen that? How do you address it?
So the answer to the question is, yes, I've seen it. I'm going to tell you how I address it. And yes, it is a multi-generational issue. And what I want to challenge our audience to consider is the difference between a strong woman versus a woman of strength. A strong woman is the superhero. She has to be all things to everybody. She's got to dot the I's and cross the T's. She has to be a control freak because she's the only one that could possibly do it the right way. Go figure. You know, if they have to be able to count on me because I'm the only one that's not going to drop the ball. Whereas a woman of strength says, I'm human and I have needs too. And I love you and I care about you, but rather than enable you, I'm going to empower you. I'm going to teach you how to fish and not just feed you all the time. I'm not going to allow you to go hungry because I'm going to teach you how to fish. I'm going to teach you how to operate as if I were not here. You know how many women have gone to early graves and left their families and their friends and their employers devastated because they were superheroes, whereas if they had flipped that and embodied what it means to be a woman of strength and taught people, think of it like a protege, mentor relationship, right? I can teach you how to dot I's and cross T's and how to be a much more efficient version of yourself rather than doing everything for you all the time.
To view the whole conversation, find it on Michaela's YouTube channel at The Real One TV or on Instagram at The Real Michaela. Now, we turn it to Trent for some UTA Maverick sports updates.
That is right, Olivia. The Maverick Report starts now. As UTA basketball season ends, that means our time in WAC hoops has ended.
A chapter of UTA basketball came to a close. On January 10th and January 21st, the Mavericks played their final two games in the Western Athletic Conference. UTA defeated Tarleton State 71-64, then closed its WAC run with an 82-72 win over Abilene Christian. When the final buzzer sounded, it marked the end of an era. UTA basketball is now moving forward into the United Athletic Conference. Trent Harris, UTA Spotlight.
Next year, UTA Mavericks will compete in the UAC R, known as the United Athletic Conference. The UTA Mavericks men's baseball team fell to Stephen F. Austin 4-1 on St. Patrick's Day at Clay Gould Park. I had to restart. The UTA Mavericks tied the game in the second inning when Zach Mozok scored on the sacrifice fly from Jackson Hill. SFA responded with a run in the sixth and two more in the seventh inning to take control. UTA racked up 10 hits but left 15 runners on base. Xavier Melendez led the Mavericks, going 4 for 5 at the plate. After the game, Coach Mike Trapasso shared what the team needs to clean up.
Well, it's simple. We gotta score runs. We gotta get hits with runners in scoring position. We gotta get hits with guys on base. We left 15 guys on base. It's disappointing because of how well we swung the bats this weekend on the road against a ranked team. And you know, you've got to be ready for every game. This game is too hard for you to ever come out and not be at your best.
This loss drops UTA to 7-13 on the season. The Mavericks host St. John's this weekend, March 20th through the 22nd. Grab your tickets online at utamavs.com or in person at the arena. Conference play kicks off April 2nd. Arlington just wrapped up a high-speed weekend in its first ever Grand Prix, bringing IndyCar racing right to the city streets.
Arlington made history this weekend, hosting its first ever IndyCar street race, the inaugural Java House Grand Prix. The 3-day event transformed the city's entertainment district into a 2.7-mile track wrapping around AT&T Stadium and Globe Life Field, with drivers hitting speeds near 180 miles per hour. On race day Sunday, it was American driver Kyle Kirkwood taking home the checkered flag, edging out Alex Plew, with Will Power finishing in third. The event drew thousands of fans and marked a major moment for Arlington, showcasing the city as a new destination for world-class motorsports. Organizers say this could be just the beginning, with hopes the Grand Prix becomes a staple on the IndyCar calendar. This is Bri Alvarado, UTA Spotlight.
City leaders say early estimates show a strong economic boost from the event, and there's already talk of bringing the race back to Arlington next year. Back to you.
Thank you, Trent, for that sports update. So, Bree, how was it at the Grand Prix?
Windy.
Really?
It was windy. It wasn't
Wow.
great, or at least I'm not a big fan of the wind, but also the cars were great. Super fast. Could not believe how fast they went.
That's awesome. But that's all we have today for this edition of UTA Spotlight. And to stay up to date with us, please follow us on Instagram at MavMediaUTA.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Brianna Alvarado.
And I'm Olivia Ross. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.